it's Erica Mackey from Maniacal Reader, and this is my July book haul. I bought a lot of books this month, so this will be my July book haul part 1, and there will be a part 2 video coming next. The first book I want to show you is A Beautiful Evil by Kelly Keaton. This is the sequel to Darkness Becomes Her in her Gods and Monsters series. I've already read this series, so I'll put a link down below to my review in the description. The next book I want to show you is Revealed by PC and Kristen Cast. This is the 11th book in the House of Night series. I started reading this series last summer before I started BookTube, so that's why I've never mentioned it before. This book follows a girl named Zoe Redbird. She is a person who has been gifted with the 5 elements by the goddess Nyx, and she is a vampire, but she's no average fledgling. Normally, vampires have the gift of 1 element, and she has the gift of all 5. These vampires go to a special school called the House of Night, where they can take special vampire classes to learn to hone their abilities. Throughout this series, Zoe has friends, and she also has boy troubles. The headmaster of the school, named Neferret, is evil, and she wants to steal Zoe's powers. So that's a basic premise of this series. I won't go into the series that much since this is the 11th book. The next book I want to show you is The Program by Suzanne Young. This is a YA science fiction dystopian book. In this society, suicide has become an international epidemic. This book follows a girl named Sloane who knows better than to cry in front of everyone. Her parents have already lost 1 child, so they'll do anything to try to save Sloane from her depression. Sloane knows that anyone who has been through the program returns with a clean slate. Their depression is gone, but also their memories are gone as well. Sloane then meets this guy named James, who shares a connection with her, and they start to develop feelings for each other. James will do anything he can to protect Sloane and keep them out of treatment, but their depression is setting in again, and the program is coming for them. This sounds like a really intriguing book. I found out about this book through BookTube sometime last year. I'm intrigued by sci-fi books and mental illness, so this book sounds like a winner. The next book I have to show you is Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. This is the first book in a YA paranormal fantasy trilogy. This book follows a girl named Sophie Mercer, who 3 years ago found out she was a witch. Her non-gifted mother is very supportive, and she speaks with Sophie's estranged father, who is a European warlock, if she has any questions. When Zoe, one night at a prom, says a spell that goes horribly wrong, she attracts too much human attention, and Sophie's father decides on her punishment. He decides to send her to a special school called Hex Hall, which is a special school for prodigium, aka witches, fairies, and shapeshifters. On her first date, Sophie makes friends and some girl enemies at the school, but she also meets this boy as well. When she arrives, she also learns that someone has been attacking students, and her friend becomes the #1 suspect. So she's determined to find out what's going on and hopefully clear her friend's name. This attacker wants to and the existence of all prodigium, especially her. This book sounds really intriguing, and I'm eager to find out what the mystery is about this book. And the next books that I want to show you are books that I bought from Book Outlet. The next book I want to show you is Pulse, written by Patrick Carman. This is a YA sci-fi dystopian trilogy, and the first book is called Pulse. This book follows a girl named Faith Daniels, who has the power to move objects with her mind. This telekinetic ability is called a pulse, and her classmate Dylan Gilmore shares this ability. Faith shows this telekinetic ability to a group of telekinetic masters, and she has to team up with her classmate Dylan to save the world and fight against these masters, and I believe a romance develops between them. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this book. Some people think it's okay, and other people really love it. I'll have to see if I like this book or not. I'm looking forward to reading it. The next book I have to show you is Unraveling by Elizabeth Norris. This is the first book in a YA sci-fi series. This book follows a girl named Janelle Tenner, who 2 days before her junior year of high school is hit by a pickup truck and is killed. One minute she sees a blinding light and scenes from her life flash before her eyes, and then nothing. The next thing she knows, she's opening her eyes to a classmate named Ben Michaels, who's leaning over her. Ben Michaels is a guy who Janelle's never talked to, but for some reason she has a gut feeling that he brought her back to life. When Janelle is searching through her FBI agent father's files to find clues about her accident, she notices a clock in his office that's counting down to something, but she doesn't know what it's counting down to. When a close friend of Janelle's is murdered, she knows that something isn't right. So she has to team up with Ben to try to save the world somehow. Once she figures out that this clock is ticking down to the end of the world, she ends up falling in love with him in the process. The next book I have to show you is Under the Never Sky, written by Veronica Rossi. This is the first book in the Under the Never Sky trilogy. This is a YA sci-fi dystopian and fantasy trilogy. It follows this girl named Arya, who has lived her whole life under the protective dome of Reverie. But when her mother goes missing, she has no choice but to step out and discover the outer wasteland. She meets this guy named Perry, who is an outsider, who is searching for answers. They are each other's hope for answers, so I think that Ari and Perry develop some sort of romance. I've heard this book talked about so much on BookTube that I definitely want to get into it and see what everyone is talking about. A lot of people love this series. That's the end of my July book haul part 1. I'll see you guys next time for part 2. Bye!